Well, good afternoon, folks. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here. It is Monday, March 31st, 2025, and we have some pretty rough weather coming ahead of us this week. So I wanted to give you just a quick update here. Bear with me. It's been a little while since I have done one of these weather videos, so might be just a bit rusty here, but I want to take you through some things and let you kind of see what we can expect. First of all, we had some severe weather yesterday. Thankfully, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but many did have some power outages, tree damage, some hail, things like that. A few tornadoes around the area, but not as significant of an outbreak as it could have been. That may change, though, on Wednesday. This is the latest severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for Wednesday, already at an enhanced risk here on their Day 3 outlook, large swath of the area. If you look at the probabilities, we are already in the hatched area here. The hatched area, essentially, that's where the strongest of the severe weather could potentially take place here. And this looks like it could be a very interesting one. If you go into, for example, the analogs, essentially what that is, you're looking at the upper air pattern over what's forecast, and you're comparing it to historical events in the past that have had that very similar upper air pattern. And then it just averages them all out, spits it out on a map, and gives you some probabilities for it. And it's showing a pretty significant risk for severe weather here as well. The significant risk that it shows here for severe weather, you can see basically down in this area right here. So parts of western Kentucky doesn't quite sneak up into southern Indiana, but doggone it, it's awfully close there. Too close for comfort, and certainly that shows a level of risk for this upcoming event. Another particular way of looking at these analogs shows a similar thing, showing that risk encroaching into us. So, and by the way, that increases even in day 4. So into Thursday, we still have a little bit of a risk going in with that. So all that to say, take this particular risk for Wednesday pretty seriously. Let's talk about what it is that we're going to expect. So we've got another round of storms coming our way. So this is the NAM model, for example. Let me move something out of my way here so I can get to my buttons. And I'll just sort of show you as we go through the evening hours what the NAM does on Wednesday, and it actually stalls it into the overnight hours before the line rolls through. It just brings this line through our area. The GFS is much faster with this line. So here we are at about 7 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday night. There's a line of strong storms just to our west. And by the time you get 3 hours later into about 10 o'clock Central Time, that line is already rolling through most of the area and then exiting. But let me just show you what the GFS does. Notice how it just sort of angles it and stalls it out. And then over the next several days, it is just round after round of rain, rain, and more rain. And that's going to be a big problem for us as we head later on into the week here. So all that to say, all levels of all modes of severe weather are going to be possible. If you look at some sounding data here, this is confusing for most people, but for those of you that understand it, I just want to show you that significant severe weather. It's there in the data, for example. So this is coming from the GFS model, and this is just clicking on a point right on the border there between Owensboro and Indiana, like right on the Ohio River, to kind of give you a little bit of a reference. And if you just look at the numbers, it's spitting out a possible hazard type of being a tornado watch. If you look at this hodograph right here, this is a change in wind speed and direction as you move up. That's indicative of tornadoes. You can look at it right here on the skew-T chart as well. At the bottom, you got the surface. At the top, what you have up here is winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And notice this change in speed and direction as you go up. That's very indicative of you have speed and directional shear needed. You've certainly got all of the severe weather parameters, if you know what they mean, down there in place. The NAM model is even more bullish with it. It puts us under a PDS tornado watch for the same period. The hodograph is just classic for tornadic signature. And if you look at its numbers, for example, we'll just look at the EHI right here, the Energy Helicity Index. Anytime you get above 2, you're looking at tornadic storms. By the time you get to 3 and 4, and then above that, you're really looking at the potential for some long-tracked, even violent stuff. Numbers are spitting out 4 and 5 in that. So all that to say, the numbers are there. Is that a guarantee that we see anything? No, but take this particular severe weather threat on Wednesday seriously. There's a reason why the Weather Service has already hatched it out, because strong, violent, long-track tornadoes will be possible. Large hail will be possible. Damaging winds 70 plus miles per hour. It's all possible. And it's a double-edged threat too, because then we've got the rain to deal with after that. Weather Prediction Center has already has already placed us here in an area under the bullseye, if you will, for some extreme rainfall as we go through the next several days. Just look at some of the model output on this, and you can see, yeah, upwards of 10, 11 inches of rain. And yeah, you're reading that right. This is potential inches of rain. And really all across our area, you get a ridiculous amount of rain. Nobody is exempt from this. So much so that the Weather Service there in Paducah has already put out their forecast. Look at this. They're hollering 10 to 15 inches of rain through Saturday night for parts of the area. Absolutely insane. So regardless, if we get the severe weather or not, I do think we're going to get some strong storms on Wednesday. Have a feeling there's going to be a pretty big severe outbreak across the area. We're going to get some flooding behind it too, and there's going to be some significant flash flooding with this. I like their wording here. The entire Quad State is expected to receive from Wednesday afternoon through Saturday night at least 6 to 9 inches of rain, with 9 to 12 inches likely over West Kentucky and adjacent portions of southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, southwest Indiana. Higher amounts possible. I can't even imagine what 10 to 15 inches or even 8 to 10 inches of rain would do for the area. So if all this to say, right now is not really the time to panic. I'm not saying this and getting this video out there early to, it is a couple of days before the event. I'm not trying to incite mass hysteria here or anything, but now's the time to prepare. So you want to get those flashlights ready and have extra battery packs charged up in case your power goes out. If you live in a flood-prone area or near a creek or river, you want to expect there's probably going to be some flash flooding over the next several days, Wednesday all the way through Saturday for that, after those rounds and rounds of rain just pummel the area. So you need to prepare for that. It may be that if you are in an area that flash floods, you may not be able to get out for a little while. Expect that. It's not time to panic. It's just time to prepare. Because whenever I look at guidance like this, which is usually very conservative, and on day 3 of the outlook, the guidance is already suggesting that. And for that matter, several days earlier to this, a week in advance, already suggesting this and staying on a very similar track. We got to watch this one closely Wednesday, folks. It bears watching. All right, folks, that is it for now. I'll have more on this as the days get closer. Just stay weather aware and keep tuned to the forecast, and we'll get through this.